You want things done by the book. Alright, let's do that. I work as a freelance artist doing advertisement, ticket, and program booklet designs for various police, firefighter events that give to children's charities. It's not consistent work, but it pays pretty well for what it is. The people I work with directly are a promotions company that was created to sell the advertisement space and tickets. I've been working for them for a long time. Throughout COVID, these people were essentially my only source of income. So I had to put up with their BS. Mostly having to put up with having to hear, the check is in the mail, for 2 or 3 months before it actually arrives. I convinced the owner of the company to download PayPal so I could be paid in a reasonable time. He was confused on how to use it, so I told him about Cash App. I was paid through Cash App only once before he said, "I just want to keep doing this by the book. These websites you're sending me to look scammy." And because I don't work for him, I work for the unions and they're the ones cutting the checks. I asked him if he really wants to do that. Of course he said yes. Cue malicious compliance. He's becoming quite upset with me, since he realized doing it by the book actually gives me all of the leverage. From that point forward, I had begun putting my logo watermark on every single thing I send him. The first time he experienced this was with show tickets. He asked me to remove the watermark and send it to the printers. He was satisfied with the work. I told him the watermark will come off when there is money in my account. He told me that he can't start making sales until he has the tickets to sell. Thus, he doesn't have the money to pay me. Oh man, that sucks. Better figure out how to pay me electronically then. Here's my BTC and ETH wallets, PayPal and Cash App info, as well as info for direct deposit. He insisted he couldn't pay me before he has the tickets to. He agreed to a 50% price increase for me to release the files to him without pay, and with my company's logo on them. I actually got paid for that today. The second time was with a show poster. The same instance occurred, only this time I was told I'd have to talk to the Fraternal Order of Police, FOP, about being paid, since I work for them. They were very confused when I called them. An hour later I got an angry phone call and was paid via direct deposit from the promoter's business account, not the FOP's account. This morning was pretty interesting. He called me up while meeting with the police association to talk about cutting me a check for the last show that happened yesterday, 9/25. On this call I was asked about bank transfers, asked how to make a Bitcoin wallet, all that good stuff. But the promoter asked why my invoice stated that I am no longer accepting checks as a form of payment. Are you sure you want me to answer that in this meeting? I asked him. He said yes. So I told him while he was on speakerphone with his boss. Because you don't pay me for months when we do checks. I only accept online or bank transfers. There was a little back and forth between him and the guy from the police association. It didn't sound like Mr. Promoter was having a good time. I was told I would get a call back about payment. Well, I received that call from the police association, not the promotion agency. I've been paid via PayPal and apologized to profusely. When I got the call from the promoter afterward, he had a very upset tone. He asked why I'm doing all this. Well, sir, you told me you wanted it done by the book, right? This is by the book. We didn't do it by the book before because I've worked with you for years and your son is my best friend. So this is how it will be from now on. We'll see how it turns out. I'm confident I won't be losing any work, since the police associations, firefighters and other organizations have repeatedly told me how great my work looks, and how I often work at half the price of other freelancers. TLDR, Client never paid me on time, so we got PayPal and Cash App to make it easier for the boomer. He didn't want to use those, and instead told me he wants to do it by the book. Little did he know that doing it by the book means he doesn't get completed work until I get verified payment. His boss wasn't happy with him, but was apologetic to me. Edit. Fixed some grammar and spelling. When will people learn that, "Are you sure you want me to answer that?" means, you absolutely won't like the answer and will be embarrassed if I actually say it. That's some good MC. Love when people use the book to beat people who are, by the book, hands clapping. I understand that some businesses run a really tight line between getting paid by their customers and then paying their contractors. But 3 months seems rather too long to explain that kind of delay. I also realize that some people aren't savvy with online payments, but their banks should be. If a contractor holds up their end of an agreement, the contracting business should also. To quote Captain Reynolds, "Now I did a job. I got nothing but trouble since I did it." Not to mention more than a few unkind words as regard to my character, so let me make this abundantly clear. I do the job, and then I get paid. Why are you doing this? Money. The answer is money. I need money. He threw the book at you. You caught it and knocked it out of the park. Nicely done. Nice. You took that book and slapped him up alongside his head with it. I'm glad you did this. I've heard so many horror stories of freelancers getting raked by people. I'm happy you're valued and getting what you deserve for your time and talent. People seem to forget that doing things by the book is a legitimate form of job action when you can't strike. It's called work to rule. The book is there for both sides. They like to wave the pages at you but do not like you using the pages yourself. I have a guide for anything. You make the rules. I play the game according to those rules. FYI. There's an actual book, and it's about 1.5 inches thick. Just Google Graphic Artists Guild Handbook 16th edition. Since the police associations, firefighters and other organizations have repeatedly told me how great my work looks, and how I often work at half the price of other freelancers. This is between the lines of make your own company and we will hire you to do work since you work is top-notch for half the pay. You have a golden opportunity here to start a business and have solid clients right out the gate. That won't bullshit you with the publicity is worth more than the cold cash you are asking for. One note I'd make to you. You're way too cheap now. You're getting praised for delivering great work. But if your prices are half those of your competition, that means you're undercharging. Like, you could increase your price by 50% and you'd still be significantly cheaper than the other freelancers. And more than likely still cheap enough that you're the preferred supplier. 25% is still significant enough of a price difference that I don't think you're going to lose a lot of work to your competition. That being said, I understand that you're providing services for charity fundraisers. It would take a special sort of heartlessness to suddenly charge significantly more. A 25% or even 10% price increase is probably more acceptable given the context. Still, finding a correct pricing point for a freelancer is important. And I'd say that being half the price of your competition really just means you're leaving money on the table. And considering you're implying that COVID cost you part of your normal income, it should be understandable to slightly increase your prices. Haha, hoisted by his own petard. It could be worse. Yeah, we're not paying you, but it will be great exposure for you. Quote, Yeah. Exposure. The thing people die from. I didn't use boomer as the reason he was a jerk. He's an older man who is incompetent with technology. But I feel you. TLDR. Boss never paid me on time. Say it with me. He is not your boss. He is a client. You're beginning to stand up for yourself. You need to keep up the good work. When he said, by the book, he meant checkbook. Not rule book. Silly him for not making himself clear. Well, this is really, I mean really, smart business, and I'd sure use this method if I were in your shoes. But what is it that makes this, by the book? I worked for a guy that always wanted to pay people late and hang on to cash. I told him okay and just paid everyone on time. Some people are so shitty. Q malicious compliance. Not K. Not Q. Q.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.